Whether you're new to gaming or have been enjoying video games all your life, great gaming is not only about having fun and escaping the stresses of everyday life, but also being there to pick up our teammates, especially when they're down.
Guardian down.
We're a Destiny 2 podcast that focuses on three things: promoting a positive gaming community, sharing news around the industry in Destiny 2, and discussing thought-provoking topics in the game. We're Guardian Downcast, your stories, your community, and your destiny. What's up, Guardian? Welcome to episode 336 of Guardian Downcast. I'm your host, ToddtheGatr, and I'm a Day One Guardian who loves gaming and especially the Destiny franchise. We're the podcast that's all about your stories, your community, and your destiny. For those of you who've just discovered our podcast, we're a weekly gaming show with an emphasis on the Destiny franchise, but we like to sprinkle in some entertainment and other topics of discussion relating to our hobbies from time to time as well. We also have roundtable episodes typically every month, not for December because of the way the holidays fall in December, but every month, typically at the end of the month, we have a roundtable episode where we talk about anything in gaming or anything related to our gaming hobby. So we usually go live Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern time. And there's two different ways you can catch us online. That's ToddtheGatr. It's ToddtheGatr on YouTube and Twitch. And now our Discord community where we can listen in our live channel, which is called the Stage channel. And usually I'll post an event tab in our Discord server, let you know when we're going live. So you can always RSVP on that event tab as well, let you know if you're going to show up, and it'll give you a little reminder. It's kind of cool. But there's three different chats we will be able to converse with you on while we're live during the shows. Tonight is a little bit different though. Tonight's podcast is pre-recorded, so we're not going live. But in today's show, it's the Christmas episode. Every year we have a tradition here at Guardian Downcast where we have one of two guests on the show. I actually started this many years ago when one guest would write a Christmas story and the other guest would read it aloud on the show. This was before we went live every week, when every episode was pre-recorded. So every year, instead of a pre-recorded Christmas story, I decided to just have at least one of them on the show as a guest and just catch up with them, since it's usually been about a year apart since we've talked with them. I mean, our community has grown so much over the years that we're always hearing from new community members. And most of the time, we can't bring back previous guests. There are exceptions, of course, and this is one of them tonight. So our guest tonight, I've known for over a decade, and I met him and his family here in Orlando. He was the owner of an adult gaming clan back in the old Call of Duty days and was active, I believe, all the way until the first years of the Destiny game in 2014. I was actually a mod in his community, and that's how we became good friends. His first interview with us was all the way back on episode 2, Famous from the Waist Down, from August 3rd of 2019. He's a warehouse manager from the great state of North Carolina. Please welcome my friend, Warcry, a.k.a. Moonshine on Tap. How you been, Jeff?
How you been doing, Todd?
I'm doing good, man. I haven't seen you in a while because I haven't been playing any Crucible. I know that's the thing that you like to play. So I did want to let you know that I'll have a link to this episode 2 if you want to go back all the way to 2019 and hear our original interview with Warcry here tonight. But I'll have that in the show notes if you want to watch that. Go back and watch that show and kind of reminisce. In today's show, we're going to first catch up, see what's been going on with Warcry since this last year. We'll then talk some Destiny 2, see what experiences he's had with the new Renegades. As per our custom, I will put Warcry through our fast fire question and answer segment we call, the speed run. I did choose another topic of the week concerning the Destiny 2 game this week, and I'm curious to see what Jeff thinks about it. Finally, it is our Christmas episode. So before we leave, I'll ask some Christmas questions and before we call it a night. So if everyone's ready, let's roll. Hey, it's Todd with Guardian Downcast. You know, there's all kinds of ways that you can contact us. You can contact us on X. You can hit up our Instagram. You know, you can send us a voicemail, or you can even email us.
You can just tell them, go to the website at guardiandowncast.com.
You know what, Mike? You're exactly right. guardiandowncast.com. Later, Guardian. Well, Jeff, it's been a whole year, man, since we've had you on the show. And thank you tonight for coming on the Christmas episode. We typically pre-record our shows, especially if they fall on a night that we normally have a show live. So this just happened to work where New Year's Day and Christmas fall on a Thursday, which is when we usually have our shows. So to keep that ritual alive, I want to make sure I at least had you on tonight. And next week, I'll have Jealous on, and we'll talk to him. And that way, that'll complete the full ritual, right? So anyways, I want to catch up, man. How you been? What have you been up to just in life, man? Has anything changed since I talked to you last?
Well, just mostly working, and of course my daughter went off to starting her first year of college back in August. She's home now for the holidays.
Nice. So she went to Appalachian State, correct?
That is correct.
So,
and she loves it.
Awesome. I mean, this is when they're out of the house. Actually, it's probably their first time living on their own, you know. It's got to be an exciting experience for her, you know. She's your oldest, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So did you shed a little tear there before you had to wave your goodbyes and drive away?
Not really. My wife might have shed some.
Yeah, I bet you shed a tear. I was a dribbling mess when I left my son in Minnesota. I was like, I'm leaving my son in Minnesota and I'm driving back to Florida. What is wrong with this picture, you know? But, you know, you're used to your kids being around the house so much. And when they leave, it's just like a part of you is left with them, you know? It's, you know, you wake up in the morning and you're used to your oldest running around, and even if they're having a quarrel with your wife or giving you grief before they go to school or whatever it may be, that those rituals that you get used to in your household, you know, aren't there anymore. It's quiet when you wake up.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we still got another one that's in the 8th grade still around the house, and she's plenty for both of us.
I tell you what, man. I tell you when it's really going to hit you, though, is when you're an empty nester like I am. Both my kids went to college. They both graduated. They both finished. They both have jobs now and are out of the house, living on their own. And I got to tell you, man, it's so nice to wake up in the morning and you can hear a pin drop. It's just, I mean, my wife leaves early in the morning. She's a teacher. So by the time I wake up, you know, and my schedule is much more flexible because of my job, my profession. Yeah, my wife's already out. She's up at 5 a.m. She's out the door at 7 for school, and she's on her way. And I don't see her typically until 6 o'clock, 6:30 usually. So if I take the day off like I did last week or last couple of weeks ago when Renegades first came out, I decided I wanted to go ahead and play the campaign. I had that flexibility to do it. The problem is I paid for it the next week because I had all these clients that needed to get taken care of. And when you have your choice clients that only want you to show up and take care of them, you like, you know, they're waiting, you know, they want that service. So it's a little tough. I'm just curious, how's the job with I know you're still a warehouse manager, correct? Is that what you do?
Yeah, I'm still working in a food manufacturing warehouse.
Okay. Now, describe again what your job description is. What is your day-to-days, man? What's your day-to-day working there?
Making sure stuff gets pulled right, making sure inventory is correct, making sure trucks get out on time. I mean,
so it's all on you.
Pretty much just, yeah.
So you deal with truck drivers that are sick for the day. You got to reroute it and make sure that everything still goes out, or, you know, people are late to work or whatever. You got to be the disciplinarian, I'm sure. All that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
That sucks.
And then all the computer systems and everything else.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. All the automated stuff. You ever worry that your warehouse will become fully automated by AI? I did a show on my 50 years experience required where I talked about AI, and one of the things they said that is becoming more and more innovated is warehouse management, processes and stuff within a warehouse. Are you ever worried that that's going to be a thing?
It may be eventually. I mean, some people from my company it was a plant in Canada. But that's the way that is automated. It picks and pulls the orders. I mean, you still have people loading the trucks, but pulls all the orders and all that stuff.
I got you. Wow. Well, that that cannot be an easy job, man. There's just so much responsibility, and you're in charge of the whole warehouse, right? The whole facility.
The warehouse that we have at our plant.
Yeah, that seems just like a lot of responsibility, man. I'm sure there's a lot of stress trying to keep everything running the way it should.
Oh yeah.
Well, how's your wife? How's your other daughter doing? Are they at each other's throats in the morning like mine two were?
Well, most time I'm going to work before they get up because I leave at 6 o'clock. Well, I get to work at 6 in the morning.
Oh crap! How far a drive you got?
So they don't have to be. It's only like 10 minutes.
Oh, that's not bad. You're lucky. Okay. Well, that's good. You don't have to deal with the morning school routine then. That's good.
Oh, no. Only on Fridays because I'm off on Fridays and Saturdays.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's switch gears here, man. The new Renegades is dropped. Did you, I know the answer to this already, but I'm still going to ask you, have you played the Renegades campaign?
I saw the intro cutscene and that was about it. And then went right.
Oh, you muted out there. You saw the intro? That's all I heard.
Yeah, the intro cutscene. And then as soon as they let me come back out, I went back to Orbit and then went into a Crucible match.
Okay. I know that's all you play is Crucible. I mean, man, I have not played Crucible in I think I would say almost 2 months now. Because when Renegades launched, and I mean, even when Ash and Iron and Edge of Fate launched, I really jumped wholeheartedly into the PvE of the game. I played the campaign, which I thought was very good. It was very entertaining, for what it was. And then they pushed you right into the portal system right after that, You couldn't what I hated about the Edge of Fate is Kepler was the new destination, which it was fun. It was okay. But the matter spark and the matter spores, to have to get through parts of the map, you have to eat these spores where you can hallucinate and see all these hidden things. I know they talked about that at one point, that there was going to be a lot of mysteries on Kepler, but to me, it just seemed annoying. And popping into the matter spark ball, you could upgrade it where you can actually on demand. You don't have to wait for a terminal to become a matter spark ball. You can just hit your keypad on your controller and actually become a matter spark ball and start rolling around. But if you want to traverse the different parts of Kepler, you had to do the matter morph and the matter spark. You had to do these different machinations, which it just made things so cumbersome trying to discover areas of Kepler, But I know you probably didn't do any of that, so.
I did play half of Edge of Fate.
You did? What did you think of it so far? I mean, what you played. Did you like the new Prophecy saga with the 9?
I mean, it was pretty fun what I played.
Okay. Well, since you pretty much play Crucible, how is the Crucible right now?
It's hit and miss. Of course, we play in mixed lobbies, so it's PC and console together. So you'll get into some lobbies, I mean, that are close. You'll get into some where you just steamroll the other team, and you get into other ones where you get steamrolled.
Well, I mean, that's like Iron Banner 101 is the way the matchmaking set up is they'll give you an easy game and then they'll slam you up against some pros. It's always the way it is. It doesn't matter how much you play. It seems like you get that 50% win-loss rate. Unless you're just, like a Crucible god or worse, you're a cheater. and you get higher percentages of win rates. But, if you're not true Vanguard, it's pretty much 50-50 your win-loss rates. It doesn't matter if you're playing during Iron Banner or you're doing competitive or whatever. It just seems like, that's all you get. Now, have you tried the new competitive in Renegades yet?
I have not done the competitive yet. I've only just played regular control Crucible.
Okay. So you haven't played the new comp yet for Renegades?
No, I haven't played any comp.
Did you play comp in the last expansion?
I did in Edge of Fate. I played some.
Yeah. Did you do your placement matches and then play a little bit after that, or?
Yeah. It was okay.
What was the weapon? You remember what the weapon was, the comp weapon was for Edge of Fate? I didn't play it, so I don't have it.
I think it might have been a shotgun or something that I wasn't going to use.
Yeah, exactly. That's probably why I didn't play comp in Edge of Fate. Now, I've heard a lot of people have been telling me is that the Edge of Fate, at least Edge of Fate, I haven't talked to people about Renegades yet because it's fairly new, that it's a lot of abilities, not much gunplay. Does that fit the bill?
Yeah, quite a bit of abilities.
So it's not so much about gunplay. See, that's what turned me off when I thought about playing Crucible. And the week they had Iron Banner out and Edge of Fate, I played every day because it was only a week long. And were you able to get some of that cool armor that Iron Banner was letting go of?
Got my whole set, and I think I gilded my title and all that stuff.
Oh, nice. I think I was just short, but I said, well, I'm not worried about gilding it. I think I had to get some wins. That's all I had left. I didn't worry about gilding it because I figured they're going to have at least one more time in Edge of Fate before Iron Banner comes out, but they never released another Iron Banner. I don't understand what are they that tone deaf to Crucible? Because Iron Banner will increase your numbers, and I don't know about you, but the numbers have not been the greatest in Destiny. And you would think that they would have more Iron Banner events because, and it plays like any other event now. It has its own little screen where you can actually, unlock stuff to unlock weapons and stuff and more armor. But they only did it one time, man. I don't understand what they were thinking there, other than maybe they were supposed to have an Iron Banner. I know they had to shuffle some things at the very end of Ash and Iron. Maybe that's when Iron Banner was supposed to be there. But remember, there was something going on where it was so bugged the first week. I think it was only supposed to be 2 weeks, and they extended it another week. I bet you that might have been the Iron Banner week that was supposed to come back. Because they usually finish, with an Iron Banner before they go to the next expansion, right?
Yep.
So you got all your armor for your Warlock, I'm guessing?
Yeah, for my Warlock.
Man, the armor is beautiful. I mean, I think this Iron Banner armor it's the best looking armor we've had. I'm pulling it up right now. And the helmets, I mean, it's very gothic look, it's very, I don't know. I can't explain it. It's just, I mean, if you look at this armor, you can't see it. I'm sorry. I mean, it has it looks very gothic, very like Romanesque. And I mean, the set bonus they had for it was so nice, man. Yeah. I mean, every ounce of this set just looks so good, man. It just looks so damn good. But like I said, they only had it 1 week. So I was just kind of pissed, cause I wanted this armor. I mean, really drew engagement. There was a lot of people playing Iron Banner that week when it did come out. And I'm just shocked that they didn't capitalize on that. But there again, that last activity they had, it was so bugged at the very end that they had to extend it another week. I have a feeling that's what ate that week up. I think that's what maybe where they had to, where they had to chicane that last week and just put it into that last step. I don't know. I mean, have you played most of the events that came out during Edge of Fate? I mean, do you engage in those when they do come out, like the solstice and not solstice, the summer events, the Guardian games and all that? Do you jump into that stuff to get the rewards?
I think I played a little bit of it and done some of the Halloween event Crucible part of it,
right.
or whatever it was you could get into to earn some of the stuff.
Right. That's right. I remember there was a Crucible element to it. Man, I don't know, man. I know they just last week they released the Vidoc for Marathon, and I haven't really watched it yet. But man, they're really banking on PvE or PvP being carried over by this new Marathon game. But what do you think? Have you seen any sneak peeks on Marathon? Were you in the playtest? Were you invited?
I hadn't really seen a lot on Marathon.
Yeah.
I mean, I've seen it posted. I just hadn't watched it. I know I just got, what was it, a message from PlayStation today going, Marathon will be releasing in whatever date.
Oh, they did release it. They did put out a date? I haven't even seen it.
Yeah. It came to me through I think it was the PlayStation app, I think it posted on there.
2026, March 2026 release.
Yep.
So they don't have an exact day. I guess they're going to surprise us?
No.
Okay. March 2026. Man, I mean, that is cutting it really close for Sony's fiscal year. That's their last month of their fiscal year. What do you think, man? You think this is going to have any success? You think Marathon's going to be the play?
Hopefully for Bungie, I hope so.
Yeah.
At least get some more money in so they don't completely shut them down or whatever they are.
I just wonder if Bungie didn't put all of their eggs in one basket, PvP wise, into this Marathon game. My biggest fear is if Marathon fails, one of two things can happen. The worst case scenario is Sony just lays off a crap ton of people in Bungie, and Bungie becomes even smaller. But my other more hopeful outcome here, if Marathon fails, is that they turn back to Crucible and Destiny and start investing more time back into that. I mean, because if you think about it, most of the Crucible team went to Marathon to make this game. It's based on devs that were basically developing the Crucible game in Destiny 2. And I don't know. My biggest fear is that they're stealing, they're taking away all of their talent in the Crucible department. And then people don't understand why Crucible is so thin right now. I mean, what do you think of all that? I haven't seen a new map in a long time. They they are throwing us a bone with a new a new weapon for comp every major update. Not every major update, every major update. I think they have a different weapon. I mean, is that enough for you?
Not really, but really I only play it just to have fun with everybody.
Yeah, I mean, the team play is really what it's all about. I mean, that's the reason I like Iron Banner, because we have at least a couple groups that week that get together, and sometimes I'll even live stream it. And, we just have a lot of fun. It's a very casual setting. It's not punishing. If you don't do well, fine. And a lot of the way you get your Iron Lord title is not based. One part is based on wins, but it really isn't. Other than that, it's about putting your time in and completing stuff in Iron Banner, and not so much, win losses. It doesn't penalize you, at least for losses, is what I'm saying. It just counts your wins toward that, when you're trying to revamp it for every season. So what is your main go-to right now in Crucible? I mean, you're playing Warlock, I'm guessing, right? Warlock?
Yeah. Still playing Void Warlock.
Okay, Voidlock?
Yeah, with the Dover Bomb.
Mm-hmm. Using the Blink or?
Yeah, I use the Blink.
Okay.
And weapons is just whatever I feel like using. Mostly are the ones I've had for several seasons, like fast firing pulses, motor rifles.
Yeah.
That's basically all I use.
Are you so far playing in Renegades, is there something that you've really liked weapon-wise? Have you tried the new blasters in Crucible yet?
No, like I said, I I don't even think I've gotten one.
Okay. Just play the campaign. They'll drop you a bunch of blasters. You'll have all kinds of blasters. They got one that's actually like a pulse rifle. It's a fast-firing pulse rifle, but it's a blaster form where you have unlimited ammo. You just, instead of reloading, you have a cooldown vent. It's pretty much the same thing, really.
I've seen other ones use them in Crucible.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking here at my dim. The one I've been using a lot of is called the All or Nothing. And I've got a couple decent rolls here. I mean, the rolls on blaster weapons are not so much based on how big your clip is, but it's more about how you can shoot longer before your weapon overheats, where you have to vent it. And the one I have is I've got one with actually 2 heat sink modifiers. One's called Cooling Baubles. Collecting an elemental pickup or orb of power reduces slightly more heat on your weapon. And then there's another one called Delicate Tuning, where while at low heat, the weapon has slightly more improved range, handling, and accuracy. So the more you fire it, it starts to lose a little bit of accuracy and range and stuff. But the initial shots, which is what really counts in Crucible, that might be very good for that. So another weapon I've been using is it's the SMG, the M17 Fast Talker. It's a 900 RPM. Remember, it's not a bullet weapon. It's a blaster weapon. It has a cooldown as well. But its range is decent. It's about 49 range. I have one with dynamic sway. And this is a tier 5 I got. Dynamic sway, demolitionist, stats for all, sword logic, tap the trigger, which is really nice. That would be probably tap the trigger, dynamic sway, or they have another one called thermal atomization. While at high heat, this weapon deals increased damage and causes targets to explode when defeated. So in Crucible, this might actually be good as the more you fire. So if you combined this thermal atomization with dynamic sway, those kind of, because the longer you fire, the more accurate the weapon gets, the more stability and the accuracy cone growth gets decreased. So it becomes more accurate and more stable as far as recoil. That's probably what I would put on my M17 Fast Talker, my tier 5 one. But I don't know, what is your power level right now? I'm just curious. Because that's the one thing is you can power up in Crucible. You're not restricted to just PvE.
434.
Okay.
Whatever I got equipped right now.
That's not bad. I've been playing.
Probably go
434. Okay. I'm at 517.
So 442.
442. Okay. Yeah, I'm 517 and a half is where I'm at. I've been playing all PvE. And one thing about I don't know if you played the solo ops in the portal, that the higher you get, the more higher level you get, the rewards are really good. And no matter what level you're playing at solo ops, you get a lot of good drops. If you can get that grade to B+ or better, which means you have to maybe move around some of the modifiers when you're playing it. But have you played any solo ops?
Some in Edge of Fate, I believe.
Edge of Fate?
In the beginning, I played a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I grinded the heck out of Edge of Fate. I mean, I almost lived in the portal every day. That's what was my routine is I would jump in the portal, do solo ops, complete the dailies that gave me Bright Dust, and then make sure the weeklies were done every week, which gave you a lot of rewards, by the way, if you completed that. But yeah, these new blaster weapons are nice. I've actually got some of there's a new pulse rifle, Rocket Pulse, that's actually arc power, and I've got some really good rolls on this as well. I've got one with jolting feedback and beacon rounds, reverberation, adrenaline junkie, trickle charge, which that's a new one. Receiving or discharging bolt charge partially loads an improved quantity of the magazine from reserve. Now, this is a regular magazine weapon, not a blaster, but that I've been having a lot of fun with as well. There's a sidearm now called the Compact Defender, which is a blaster weapon. And I've been mowing stuff down with this. And I have thermal atomization and cooling baubles, which works hand in hand to keep the heat down on the weapon. But yeah, I mean, the blasters have been a lot of fun. And even some of the heavy weapons, Kingsley and I finished we actually got a dungeon, the new dungeon, Equilibrium. We actually got on day one, Saturday night, actually, when it came out day one. And once everybody, once the world's first got done, which got done in 2 hours, by the way. This dungeon, actually, you might consider playing it because it's not exactly a really, really hard dungeon. I mean, it does take some figuring out, but we were able to we split our raid group up into 2 groups of 3, and we were able to get both our groups got it done on day one. We were a little later than the other group, but by maybe an hour. But we all figured it out, went in blind and figured it out, and it's pretty cool, man. It's pretty fun. And I got a new heavy weapon. Yeah, Dim's not showing it because it's so new. But there's a new heavy weapon. It has like a 900 RPM. It's like a Gatling gun, but it's a blaster. It's really cool to use, man. It's really cool. Have you gotten any of the Praxic blades yet? Have you done the Praxic blade? The what is it? I think it's called Fire and Ice. That's the actual thing you got to do.
I hadn't done any of that.
Well, are you a big Star Wars fan? I can't remember if you are or not.
Oh, yes. I mean, I remember going and seeing the first Star Wars when it came out at the movie theater.
Me too. Remember standing in line outside the building trying to get in. And worrying, that's back when you couldn't reserve your seat. It was first come, first serve. And I was so worried I wouldn't have a seat by the time I got through the line. But I think I was like 10, 11 years old when the first, I was 9 or 10 years old when the first Star Wars came out. It's crazy, man, how time flies. But yeah, I remember waiting in line to get into that first movie. Yeah, well, I'm telling you, man, this campaign has a lot of overtones. It has a little bit of episode 5 in it, where Princess Leia was trying to get the codes downloaded from a separate ship that'll destroy the super weapon. And then it actually has a little bit of Rogue One in it too, where they're trying to go on a planet and disable something so that the weapon can't hurt it or same kind of deal where they're trying to stop a weapon from being fired because it was using power from a power source nearby. But man, you should play it. I think over the holidays, you should play it. Maybe take a break from Crucible because it's not really hard to do. You can put it on easy mode and there's a lot of enemies density, but you should be able to mow through them pretty easily. And just put your music on because your music's very Star Wars like. Put your music up, put your dialogue up, and let them all talk. And for us old guys, we can put up the subtitles too in case we miss something. Our hearing isn't the greatest, but man, I finished it a few weeks ago, and I thought it was even better than Edge of Fate. It was a very fun campaign. So I hope you do it. I hope you run through it. I think you'll have a lot of fun. Plus, you'll get the Praxic blade, which is the lightsaber basically. It's actually a special weapon that sits in your primary slot, but it takes special ammo. And man, is it customizable. You can get all kinds of different colored crystals for it. They give it all kinds of powers. You've got all kinds of defensive mods, and you got regular mod sockets. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. This thing has a lot of different things. Might be something to think about bringing in Crucible even. I'm surprised you haven't seen lightsabers in Crucible yet. But
that I hadn't.
Okay. All right.
I will probably. I'm pretty sure I'll play at least some of the story.
I would, man, because it's not really too terrible. It's not terribly difficult to do. I ran everything on Legendary, and I got through it pretty quickly just doing it solo. I want to say it took me 8 hours of playtime maybe to get through it, maybe less. Well, you haven't gotten to the syndicates yet, so I was curious if you were going to pick a syndicate, which one you would choose. There's 3 different syndicates in this. There's the Tharsis Reformation, which are like the Vex leaders. These are kind of like mob bosses. They're like different mob parties. You got Spider's Back, where you can get regular mods from him. And there's another one called the Pikers, which is an Elixni unit. That's the unit I joined initially. They have these mortar strikes you can put down, and they got like mortar strikes and like air strikes. I can remember in Call of Duty, you can lay down a carpet bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how about Solstice? Will you be playing the Solstice event? I mean, did you see the armor on that they're putting out? The weapons?
I'm pretty sure I'll play some of it. I mean, I usually do.
Okay. Well, as we're recording this tonight, I think you'll have about a week. I think you can do stuff in Crucible too. So
I do like the new orders that come out.
Oh man.
Instead of having to go and pick up bounties and it just auto completes, and
I love it.
And then I can pick a different one if I don't like it. And
yeah. And you just for a few little things of Glimmer. Of course, the more you recycle it, the more you have to pay in Glimmer, but it doesn't get too terribly expensive. And it resets at reset every day. So is there anything else you want to mention as far as what's been going on in your life or with your family or in your gaming? I just want to make sure you had plenty of time to say something here. I know I've been talking over you the whole time.
Sorry.
Yeah.
No, I mean, right now I'm just looking for a truck for my youngest daughter.
Oh, your youngest. Yeah, your oldest still has the truck you talked about, right? The F-150?
Yeah, the one that I completely rebuilt.
That's awesome.
And so now my youngest one wants that truck, and I finally convinced her she can't have that one, so now I'm looking for her one.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very smart because my daughter drove a Toyota Corolla, and I was scared to death every time she drove somewhere because it's a compact car. And the size of the vehicles today, especially the mom wagons, the SUVs are enormous, like 10,000-pound vehicles, and my daughter's in this little tin can, and now she's got a newer Corolla. I mean, they're very durable. I got to admit, they're very reliable and they're very gas, efficient because, they don't have a lot of money to put in gas. But man, truck is actually a smart idea because you're higher up. You're probably safer in it because you have a full frame, The truck has a full frame on it. So, and the ones today, even the older ones have airbags in them. So you can't beat that. So, yeah. Yeah, that's smart. That's smart, man. Yeah, I know exactly the truck your daughter drives too because I used to own one of those trucks. I think it was a step side or was it a full box?
Mine was full box.
Okay.
It was the XLT Super Crew cab with the 5.5-foot bed.
Yep. I had the same thing, but it had a step side in it. Like the flared wheel wells and the bed was a little narrower, which I don't know why I got that, but it looked cool. It looked cool at the time. Well, I tell you what, let us take a quick break here. The next thing we're going to do is put Jeff here through our speed run. So we'll be doing that right after this.
Call the Praxic Order, call the Thanatonauts, the Ginseng Scribes, call everyone so they can witness you.
This segment is called the Speed Run. I've handpicked 25 questions from a pool of over 1,000 questions submitted by our community over all these years. These are quick, simple questions to get to know our guest at an even deeper level. No time limits, no contests, just questions and answers. So if you're ready, Jeff, Warcry, you ready to go? All right, let's do it. Number 1, morning person or night owl?
Night owl.
Controller or mouse and keyboard?
Controller.
What is your favorite Destiny exotic? Destiny 1 or Destiny 2?
Maybe the Thunderlord.
Okay. If you could choose, who would voice your ghost?
Be the guy from Reacher.
Okay, I got you. Not Tom Cruise, but the other guy. I got you.
Yeah, the other guy, the big guy.
Got you. Void, solar, arc, stasis, or strand?
Void.
Pulse, hand cannon, scout, or auto rifle?
Pulse.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Probably the mountains.
What one interesting thing would we find in your gaming space? Interesting thing.
Maybe the medieval dagger I got hanging on the wall.
Oh, crap. Okay, that's definitely interesting. What's the worst job you've ever had?
The worst is probably stocking groceries in a grocery store.
Yeah, I got you. I did that too. What was your first gaming system?
It was the Pong.
Atari 2100?
One all you,
The Pong?
all they had
Oh,
was just the Pong game.
Oh, wow.
That you had the two controllers.
before Atari.
And that was way before that.
Oh, crap. Okay. Roller coaster or carousel?
Roller coaster.
Sweet or salty, and what is your favorite snack based on that answer?
Probably sweet, and usually would have been a Butterfinger.
Oh, nice. Okay. If you had more time, what would you do with it?
Spend it with my kids.
Nice. What is your favorite Destiny planet and why?
New planet. Been so many of them.
I know.
Old Earth from the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
Like the first planet you ever got on.
Cosmodrome. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always go to Venus for some reason because it had the old school in Destiny 1. What's the best sandwich?
This is hot ham and cheese.
Oh, surprising. If you could take any one famous person to dinner, who would it be?
I actually think the guy from Reacher, I think he'd be pretty funny.
Okay, I got you. What is your favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Have you ever had a nickname?
In high school, they called me Hot Dog. Why, I don't know, but
Okay.
that's what they called me.
That was my next question, is what was the origin? Okay, hot dog. Can you drive a stick shift?
Yeah, that's the first car I ever learned to drive on.
I know. I had to ask it, though. Because I'm going to ask Jealous the same question. Who is your favorite Destiny NPC? Your non-player characters.
Actually, I think the Drifter, because he's pretty funny.
Everybody likes him. And, of course, he's the star in this Renegade story. You'll like that. Do you dip your toast in oatmeal or grits?
Neither.
All right, fine. What weapon slot do you use most for your exotic weapons?
Mostly it would be heavy.
Heavy. Gotcha. Thunderlord. C-3PO or R2-D2?
R2-D2, because I think he was funnier than C-3PO.
Yeah, he was more rebellious, too.
Yeah.
What would you consider your spirit animal? This ought to be good.
I think maybe a wolf.
Okay. And finally, name one thing that you would change about yourself.
Sometimes I wish I'd have done better in school, but I think if I'd have done that, things might have turned out different and I wouldn't be the person I am now.
Yeah, I mean, that makes you unique, you know, the choices you did make in life. It's what brought you to where you are today. All right, well, Jeff, Warcry, you've now completed the speedrun. Thanks for playing, man. Appreciate it. I got a question out there for you listening or watching. Is there a speedrun question that you think we should ask our future guest? If so, let's hear it. Just go to our 2027 speedrun channel and submit your question. And at the beginning of 2027, I got to remember we're in the future, we'll have 2 drawings for a $25 Amazon gift card. So what do you have to lose? Let's hear it. And by the way, it's 1 entry per member. We'll go into the drawing, but you can submit as many as you like. We'll be glad to take your suggestions. Thank you and good luck. All right, our topic of the week is next.
Hey, Elmer Fudd Games here, and you're listening to Guardian Downcast. If you're listening to any other show right now, I will break into your house and destroy your kneecaps. I will twist off the headboard of your bed so when you go to stretch in the morning, you fall between the crevice. Guess what? Dog hair and old socks. Disgusting. No one wants that, but we want you to listen to this podcast. How's that? Was that good?
I like it. All right, for our topic of the week, I want to talk about Destiny 2. Man, has Bungie had a rough couple of years now. I mean, they finished their big expansion, the Final Shape, which I think Jeff still hasn't completed in full, in which they ended the Light and Dark saga to pretty good acclaim. They were then hoping to carry on the interest of the game into the next major expansion, which was nicknamed Frontiers. But the episodic contents, the episodes they had, just fell short, and they slowly eroded the player base going into the second half of 2024 after Final Shape had released. Then they released a really good campaign, which incorporates all of the new Prophecy Saga storyline and Edge of Fate with the 9 in June of 2025, for it only to see lower player numbers. The major update, Ash and Iron, was even worse a blunder, clinging onto the portal system, which players publicly expressed their dislike for, but unfortunately, Bungie had already committed to this new system. And finally, in the latest expansion, Renegades, which nicely incorporated the Star Wars franchise in kind of a Destiny wrapper, but it still was very disappointing. The bump in numbers was just a fraction of what it normally is. So, with all of this past strife to keep players engaged in the game, I ask you, Jeff, what do you expect to see in 2026 with the Destiny 2 game? I'm talking about after, I know there's one more major update called Shadow and Order, after, the main Renegades one that'll come in the spring, ironically about the same time as Marathon, sometime in February or March. But I'm talking after that, like summer and beyond, since that is when they usually flip to the next year of Destiny. What do you expect to see, man? What do you think they're going to do going into 2026? I mean, is it over? Will Bungie double back and rebuild this franchise for the future, or will it slowly fade away? I'm just curious where your feelings are on this, because I know you play mainly Crucible, but you have to think about the whole game, how it's doing right now. What do you think, man?
I mean, I have played PvE stuff too, but I'm really hoping it'd be nice if they just went ahead and announced they were going to do a Destiny 3. I mean, even if it took several years to rebuild the engine, and like has been said before, is drop the old gen consoles, do everything new next gen and PC only, and really bring things out that they could actually really do, instead of trying to hold back to compensate for old gen systems.
Yeah, you're pretty much on the Kingsley track. But here's the thing, man. And I'm fine if Destiny 2 becomes like Destiny 1, where it just is there and we can jump in and play for nostalgia or whatever, but they don't really do any more updates to it. I think if they were smart, they would have a dedicated team that at least provided the seasonal event stuff, Maybe had a team that would rotate new seasonal stuff like the Solstice, the Guardian Games, the summer event. Then they have the Halloween event. It was the Haunted Lost Sectors, but they did something different this time around. And then they have all these Gunmaster, like weapon weeks where you can earn a lot of the weapons, new weapons in the game, all kinds of different things. But I think if Bungie could pull it off, they should have a small team that just updates the seasonal, the seasonal event stuff to keep people playing. At least keep the diehard Destiny players that still log in every day. And then everyone else is all hands on deck for Destiny 3 if that's the way they go. I've mentioned in the past that they should bring back all the stuff from Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. All this stuff that they've, sunset and taken away from the game for some reason or another. Maybe switch over to new consoles only with this new Destiny. I think Astrocross likes to call it Destiny Classic, but I like to call it Destiny Online. It's like a Destiny world where Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 are meshed into one game. And, I've had people comment on YouTube that, hey, man, there's no way they have a team to redigitize all those weapons and stuff. But I don't know if I think that would, like they did Into the Light, where you could earn a bunch of older weapons that you've already gotten in the past while getting ready for the Final Shape, since they had to delay it. But this is a big delay. We're talking about probably at least 3-4 years to make a Destiny 3. And I guess rumors are, hasn't been confirmed by Bungie, but rumors are that they're already at the beginning stages of a third Destiny. So do you think that would be feasible to bring like a Destiny remastered, like even if they brought Destiny 1 and remastered it for PC even, that could even be a minimalist thing they could do, where people on PC and the upper, the next gen consoles can play the old Destiny 1 in 60 frames and maybe at 4K instead of 30 frames at 1080, which I go back and play Destiny 1 now and it's so blurry for me because 30 frames really messes with my head. When I'm used to 60, on the regular Destiny 2 game, I've gotten so used to Destiny 2 in a clear, crisp wrapper, it's just so hard to go back in Destiny 1 and not get even seasick a little bit or a little motion sickness. I mean, do you think any of those things are feasible or do you have any other ideas?
I think that'd be a good idea. I mean, just try to keep people playing and come back somewhat. And I mean, they've already announced the PlayStation 6 coming out. And
yeah.
So, I mean, things are going to move further ahead than what they are now. Because next thing you know, PS5 will be old gen.
That's true. PS6 is already on its way soon. I think they said 2027, I think. So
I think that's what I saw.
They would probably need to make it for the PlayStation 7. Be thinking that far in advance. And that's just, I don't know how developers make games these days. How do you not future-proof a game? When they were making Marathon, which I still think was a bad idea, but, when they made Marathon, this was years and years before where they are today. And extraction shooters, I mean, Arc Raiders has definitely been, it seems like a lot of people are having fun at that extraction shooter, and it's a big open world and stuff. But Marathon is just the opposite. It's not big and open, and it's not a very bright. I mean, Arc Raiders is a very bright look. It's a very clear, clean look. And Marathon is more dark and dreary and rainy and like futuristic, like a world that doesn't want you there. It's very much not a good place for humans to be. Like, I don't know if it's acid rain or what's going on there, but I'm just spitballing here, top of my head. But, it's no secret Bungie's trying to get their hype up for Marathon, which is coming out now, we know, in March of 2026. But let me ask you this. What happens to the Destiny 2 game if Marathon is successful? What do you think is going to happen to the Destiny 2 game? Do you think they're going to still double up and go for a Destiny 3, or what do you think will happen? You think Destiny will die, the game?
Hoping they'll put that profit towards making a Destiny 3. 'Cause I hate to see it die away. I mean, I've been playing this game since the second month it was, Destiny since the second month it was ever out.
Yeah.
Back in Destiny 1, I mean, I hate to see it go away.
Yeah, I'm with you, man.
It has definitely ruined it for all the games for me.
Man, it sure has for me. I mean, I even have Arc Raiders, but I still haven't jumped in because I'm looking forward to them coming up with a PvE only map where we can actually learn how to play the game. Because when you jump in right now, you're going against people who have been playing it for at least a month now. And it's for the new player, it's just so intimidating when you include the PvE and the PvP element into the game. And I'm not saying I couldn't hold my own, but it's a third-person shooter as well, so it's a little bit different mechanics. It's really a lot different than a first-person shooter, So, but anyway, I was just curious. What happens, though, if Marathon fails? Like I mentioned earlier, I think it could go one of two ways. Either Sony just cuts their bait and just lays off a bunch of people on a failed project, or do you think they'll come around and double down on Destiny? I mean, if you were a betting man, which would you go there?
I really hope they'd go towards Destiny, but if they're looking at money-wise, they'll probably do layoffs again.
Yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Afraid if they go down that road, that I don't know where Bungie will be. I just don't want Bungie to be one of these studios that doesn't really have any IPs anymore. And all they do are their support studios for other people who are making real games, there's a lot of studios out there that aren't making really any major games. They make smaller games maybe that aren't as popular, but all they do is they're contracted by the bigger. I mean, Bungie's done this with Raven Studios. I mean, Activision threw a couple studios their way, and they did really good work, by the way. And Forsaken was a beautiful expansion. They did so many great things in that game. But I think Raven's also done a lot of work with Call of Duty, I think, as well. But I don't know if they've actually produced an entire game on their own. I don't know. That's my biggest fear, is that Bungie will just, kind of fade away into the background, and become just one of these support studios and under Sony's PlayStation Studios now, since they're incorporated into PlayStation Studios now, the umbrella, which could be good or bad, Anyway, I'm just speaking out loud here, but I don't know if they do go with a Destiny 3. I mean, it'll definitely be something to look forward to, but even this podcast, I don't know if it would sustain 3 to 4 years waiting for another Destiny to come out. It's always been in the back of my mind, where would this podcast go if the Bungie game was given up on and we had to wait 3 or 4 years for another Destiny to come out, You'd have to
kind of hard to talk about the same thing over and over again.
Well, the one thing I could do, and it's kind of something we've already been doing, is make every week a roundtable where we talk about, new topics. That was one reason I integrated the roundtable into the Guardian Downcast rotation, because it was kind of a test. And I'll be honest, man, the roundtable episodes where we talk about totally different topics, we've gotten really good feedback from those shows. But they're a lot of work, man. It's a lot of work to come up with 3 or 4 topics. And, sometimes you can get guests to bring their own topic on where they'll do the research on it. And you'll just say, oh, great, that's one topic I don't have to worry about. I'll just feed off what they're saying, and I'll just give my opinion on it from what I know about it, stuff like that. But I don't know. Maybe that's the direction we'll need to go. But I mean, we're not there yet. So I don't want to have a doom and gloom and say, well, I guess, we're winding things down. I'm just curious to see where. I know we have one more major expansion in spring. Then we got Marathon coming out. But I'm really curious what they have lined up for summer with their next major thing. I think they said it's at least a 2 to 3 year storyline with this Prophecy saga. So I don't know. We'll just have to see, I guess.
If that's the case, that might take you almost all the way out to a Destiny 3.
Maybe. I mean, maybe that is their plan. I just don't know if they have enough personnel to do it, Jeff. I don't know if they have enough people they might be spread way too thin. And if you have I know it used to be like a 1,100 person studio, but I think it's like 800 now, if not less. And if you include probably half of them, or 400 of them, are probably working for Marathon, and then the other 400 are making content for Destiny 2. So you would have to put them somewhere to work on Destiny 3, and I have a feeling a big chunk of people. I always wonder if, since AI is such a big deal now, that if they could cut a lot of corners in development time, especially in the programming areas, if they could, harness AI to do a lot of the pre-testing systems and stuff. I don't know. I don't think we're there yet. I think it's still too young. But man, I cannot wait for the day where video games don't take 3 to 5 years to make, like major movies, Most movies take, 3 to 4 years of taping before they actually get out into production. And it seems like video games it's kind of the same model, if you think about it. You're investing millions of dollars into this game, whether it's payroll or just the amount of time it takes you to record and process and edit and all that stuff, and then send it out into the world. And then it only does like a fraction of what you put into it. It's such a risk now. And it's probably the same reason why we get so many sequels now instead of original movies as far as blockbuster stuff. Like Avatar's got another movie coming out this holiday season. I mean, James Cameron.
Remake old movies into a newer version. And
yeah. A lot of studios have gotten bitten so many times. You just kind of wonder. I've used examples in past shows about how some of the, like Deadpool Wolverine, like made almost $2 billion. I think it was almost $1 billion, almost $1 billion in total sales worldwide. And that was a really good investment. But then you got other superhero movies like Black Widow, or there were some other ones they came out with that did just a fraction of what they invested in it. So I guess it washes out. As long as you're doing the volume and you have a couple that are successful, I guess it washes out the losses from the other movies. I don't know. I don't know how they do it, man. I don't know how they do it. That's a lot of money getting thrown around and hoping, so video games are the same way. You're developing something for 3 to 4 years out when the technology in gaming is changing so quickly. I just don't know how they do it, man. It seems like every 2 years they have to review their systems and the platforms they're using it on, maybe the tech they're using, and maybe that might delay things where they have to update the tech all of a sudden to go with the new console or whatever it may be. It just seems like such a tenuous project to make video games these days. I don't know. I watched the Game Awards. There's definitely some really, really detailed games coming out. So I guess we'll see on that. All right. Well, I appreciate your input, Jeff. Let's finish up tonight with some Christmas questions. We'll do that right after this.
Hey, McMaximo here, one of the other Todds. You're listening to the Guardian Downcast, home of the coolest Discord group on the frickin' planet. Word.
I thought since this was an episode that came out the week of Christmas, I figured why not ask just a few Christmas questions here. Let me ask you this, Jeff. What is your favorite Christmas song? You think Christmas song? What pops in your mind?
Probably Jingle Bells.
See, for me, it's John Lennon. It's So This Is Christmas, I think it's called. It's like, So This Is Christmas. And there's a children's choir singing in the back. I think it's John Lennon who came up with that song. This Is Christmas, maybe? I don't know. That's the one that always pops in my head. I thought you were going to say Mariah Carey, but okay.
Either be Jingle Bells or White Christmas.
Yeah, that's a good song too. Do you have a Christmas tradition at your family for Christmas Eve or day? I mean, for instance, for me, Christmas Eve is a big deal for us. Christmas Eve is because our families have come so big, everyone has their own kids and their own nuclear families, that we'll meet up at either my sister's house or my mom and dad's house. Typically my mom and dad's, and we're doing it at my mom and dad's this year because they just got a new house. They just moved closer to my sister, and it's a pretty large house, and it's average size. But they have big open rooms where it's easy to have parties and stuff. So I've only hosted a couple holiday events. But my house is it's an 80s style house. The rooms are all very boxed. I don't have any big great rooms where people can hang out. But the times I did have parties, it was enough. And we've redone our kitchen and stuff. So there's a little more area to move around and have different people hanging out. But there's no central area we can sit. Like a huge where we can put 3 or 4 tables together. But my parents have that. My parents and my sister especially has that room. They got these big, great rooms that are just super wide. And, at this time of year, they can open the sliders open the windows and let all the cool air in. It's just really nice. But we have a big deal on Christmas Eve. We have our White Elephant gift exchange where we spend $30 to everybody that decides to be involved, which is most of us. We buy a $30 gift and, it's a game. Everybody draws numbers and you know the deal. I think we have it where you can only trade the second time a gift is traded, it's locked in. You can't trade for it if you're down the road. So I always thought getting numbers later was always the best thing because then you had the pick of the litter because most people wouldn't trade at least 2 times. Sometimes it would happen that way, and then of course, it's a big spread for us. My sister will cook. She's got one of those green egg smokers. She'll put a ham in there and smoke it. And actually this Thanksgiving, she put a turkey in there as well. And man, oh man, smoked turkey, there is nothing like it, man. It just falls off the bone. It's so tender. And the ham is just as good. So, and then, we usually do some Jackbox games, or we do some kind of group games on the TV, or maybe even a board game. Sometimes we play board games like, sometimes we even play dominoes or just whatever my mom wants to play, usually whatever she's in the mood to play. And it's like the best time, man. It's because everybody is so busy during the year. It's that one time where you can just sit back and watch everybody having fun and eating and talking together and catching up with everybody that you don't see as much. It's just really a special time. And then Christmas morning, it's just our nuclear family. It's my wife, typically her mother, and my 2 kids and their husbands or wife, and maybe boyfriend for my daughter this year. And we have just a regular, everybody opens all their presents and stuff, and someone plays Santa Claus where they go around and decide who opens up their next present up. We separate all the presents out, and usually everyone's comparing, oh, he's got more presents than me. It's all that crap that kids do. And then we eat a big spread. Usually sometimes it's leftovers from Christmas Eve because we make so much food. And then I usually pass out or watch some football before I pass out. So that's my Christmas Eve, Christmas Day in a nutshell. What do you guys end up doing?
Usually on Christmas Eve, we go to my brother's house, and it'll be his family, usually my mom and dad, my family, and we just eat over there and open up gifts. And usually we only buy presents for the kids and then for my mom and dad.
Nice.
That's what my brother and his wife does. They buy them for my kids and for my mom and dad.
It makes it simple.
And then we come back home. We let the kids open up one Christmas present from us on Christmas Eve. And then, of course, we sitting in the bed, and even now, because even my oldest daughter told us the other day, I still believe in Santa Claus, and I still want presents from Santa Claus. So, we're sitting in the bed. Me and my wife will stay up. We'll get out stuff from Santa Claus and put it out, and then let them. They've got where they won't even look at the presents. They'll walk into our bedroom because they got to walk right by where the presents are.
Right.
They'll close their eyes and walk in to make sure we're up.
Right.
Before they even look at what is out there.
Right.
And then after we get done with our morning thing, we go over to my wife's dad's house, and then we do Christmas lunch over there. My parents come over there.
Nice.
And that'll be her side of the family, and then we come back home and usually watch Christmas movies.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, I don't know about you, but when our kids were very young, it'd be like 6 a.m. They're bouncing on our bed. Wake up, present, Santa's here, Santa came, hurry, let's get out of bed. We're like, oh my God, this is hell. And I'm usually dragging all day on Christmas. But it's funny, as they get older, it's like, we get to sleep in. Nobody's up yet. Because all my kids, they're freaking logs. They're up, they're all night owls. They're up late messing around and end up sleeping in. And sometimes it's like 10 o'clock before we get things rolling, man. It's crazy.
Because there's been times when they were younger, I didn't even go to sleep. I stayed up all night long so I could make sure I could see their faces and record it when they walked in to see the presents.
I'm not that dedicated. I'll flip on the camera or the phone these days, and I usually get the highlights. I'll record like a little taste of it just to document that we had a Christmas, in 2025.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, we're good. But it's funny. I got a new GoPro setup that I use for in the field when I'm out working, doing lawns and home pest control and rodents and whatever. And I record little videos for my YouTube channel. Todd the Exterminator. Todd the Exterminator is my new YouTube channel. I mean, I just started it. I have like 35 subs. It's like very, very, very young. And I've been posting mainly shorts. But I'm thinking I might, the setup I have has a little tripod. I might actually, because it can record for hours. It's got just a, when you're using your iPhone, you got to be careful because your hard drive's built in. Your solid state drive is built into your phone. And when you run out of stuff, you can't do other things on your phone. That's why I kind of like having that separate GoPro where it just goes on a super big, memory card. As long as you're not recording in 4K, it can record for like 3 hours if you want it to. So
that's what I like about ours, because I upgraded, because I have a Google phone.
Mm-hmm.
So upgraded and done the 2 terabyte cloud drive, and so I got all of us tied into it, so all our phones go to it. And
nice.
I told them, once you upload it, then you can delete it off your phone, but you still got it.
It's forever in the cloud.
Yep. And then I got our TV now out here where I game at. That's a Google TV.
Oh.
And so my pictures show up on there as the screen savers.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
So we can steady just have it playing, and then it just shows different pictures out of the cloud.
Nice. Yeah, I got it's not very new, but about a year old, I guess. I got one of those Samsung smart TVs, and you can hook a Bluetooth PS5 controller up to it and play video games from the cloud. It's crazy. I tell you what, though, the processor in these TVs are really cheap. So they run, even if you have really good Wi-Fi or really good, I actually have an Ethernet connection to this because I have a fireplace that blocks a lot of the Wi-Fi from my office. So we even using boosters and stuff, this TV always seems to struggle. And we actually ran up in the attic and ran coax Ethernet cable down into the wall and actually have a plug right behind the TV where it gets hardwired straight from the connection, and it still runs slow. So I'm like, okay, it was never the internet. It was never the Wi-Fi. It was just the stupid TV is just so slow. The processors in them just aren't quick enough for the Wi-Fi or for the internet that's going through them. So anyway, how to get off on that tangent anyway. But yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. You cover both bases. You cover your in-laws and you cover your mom and dad too. Same time. Yeah, we quit buying gifts for each other. But what we do is we this year they did it again. They say they don't want to do it, but then they end up doing it anyway. We have a secret Santa. So what we do is everybody who's in our family that want to participate, put your names in a hat, and then you basically pick someone's name, and they don't know who's giving the gifts for them. Then we all throw our Amazon wish list on a big group text, and then whoever is in charge of, whoever is trying to get the gift for whoever. I love it because I'll go to Amazon, click, $75 limit. Boom, it's done. It's on my way to my house. My Christmas shopping's done. Other than for my wife and I usually buy two. I usually buy a present each for my kids, even though they're in their 20s. And I'll put from Santa because they'll know it's from me. And my wife will do the same thing sometimes. But we have a couple Santa gifts too, where they know it's like a special gift for them from me. So makes it nice.
Yeah, and
it's all fun.
My wife, she just gives me a PlayStation Plus premium membership, and
nice.
I get her something, and I just always tell our kids to don't worry about giving me nothing. Just spend time with us. That's all I care about.
You know what the problem is? The reason I don't like doing the Secret Santa, even for $75, one, you can't buy a whole lot for $75 these days. It's any worth a damn. But I guess somehow we make it work. But it's pathetic. We have so much in our lives. We don't need anything. So we go to Amazon and start thinking of stuff we'd want maybe if our arm was twisted. Oh yeah, maybe I could use that. I think I put a couple new mixers or something in there. Or last year it was a microphone, and I think I just got a new Apple Watch, so I need new bands that I like to switch out, when I go out to eat and stuff. So I put a couple of those in there, and those are like $40. So, but we're so blessed, man. We don't need anything. Man, can you imagine other countries out there where these kids are just trying to eat and not starve to death. They look at us fat Americans, complaining that we don't have anything to tell everyone we want for Christmas. So terrible, man. I tell you. All right. Well, I'll end on this note. Now, this is a little hokey, so bear with me. I was trying to think how we could end the show. And if a magic Christmas angel tapped you on the shoulder while you're, passed out from all the homemade Christmas food and offered you one wish for the next year, what would it be?
One wish.
I'll let you answer first. I don't want to steal your answer.
Mine would just be that my kids were happy and had everything they needed.
Yeah, mine's along the same lines. My wish would be that for the next year, everyone is healthy, because my dad just turned 80. My mom's 2 years behind him, and they're very active. Don't get me wrong, but my mother-in-law she's in a home now, and she had 4 or 5 falls when we had her in assisted living and when she was living on her own in an apartment. And I went to visit her a few weeks ago for Thanksgiving, and she's not even there anymore. Mentally, it's really weird, man. She'll look at you incredulously like you're breaking her out of this house, this home, this retirement home. And she's like, just cannot believe you're there. And I asked my wife, I said, and she'll hug me and say, this means I'm leaving today. I'm going back to my house. Well, what she doesn't realize is she doesn't have a house anymore. She doesn't have pets anymore. We had to give all that stuff up, and we sold most of her stuff because she has nowhere to put it. All of her stuff she had in her apartment, we put on Facebook Marketplace, and anything we could get for any of her little knickknacks and little items, we put into an account for her that she can spend on whatever she wants while she's in the home. But dude, it was a rude awakening for me. She doesn't have Alzheimer's, but she has some serious dementia. And I think this last fall she was in the hospital for 2 weeks. She had 2 brain bleeds. It was such a bad fall. Her whole face was bruised. She went out of her assisted living in her wheelchair and literally flopped out of her wheelchair and went face down and planted in the parking lot outside. And they just found her in like a bloody mess. And I really wish that everyone is healthy, because we're all getting up there in age now, and you start thinking about, we have 2 friends, we have several friends we know that aren't even with us anymore. I still miss Belvedere. I still think about him all the time. He was this Midwestern guy who was real terse and kind of didn't say a whole lot, but he had this smart ass attitude. He'd just make you laugh, man. He would just make you crack up while playing Call of Duty back in the day when we play in these big hardcore groups, protecting our areas and holding everything down. But I have several friends that I thought would outlive me that are no longer around, man. So my wish would be that everybody I know and in my family for the next year at least is healthy and doesn't get cancer or anything that, even a car accident or anything can happen to you these days. But I understand you want your kids to be happy, because you were there, man, when they were first. I'm a little bit ahead of you on that, because my kids are like my oldest son. He's got his first home and he's got his first son. I don't know if they're going to have another one. My first grandson. And, I look at their house. I look at how they live, and, just what's going on in the house. It's like, it's very chaotic. And it just brings me right back to the days when my wife and I were first married and had kids, and everything was chaotic. And money's always tight, because you're not making a lot of money when you're young. And, first getting into the workplace. And then another thing is finding a job. Exactly what you mean when you want your kids to have everything and be happy. It's exactly what I wish for my kids too. But, well, Jeff, hey man, I appreciate you coming on tonight. I know it's probably late for you because I just got back from my bowling and I did pretty good. I threw a 675, something around there. I think I threw two 235 games and a 204. My middle game, I missed a spare, which kind of hurt. It really hurts your score when you don't get a mark. But I know it's getting late at night. So, brother, I just appreciate you coming on. And I wanted to make sure we kept up this tradition where, for our Christmas episode that we had you on. And hopefully we'll get Jealous on too for next week's episode. We'll just have to see if he's available because, he's like my son. He's in his mid to late 20s, busting it as an electrician. And, last time we talked to him, he was repairing roller coasters for that big park in Ohio. So curious to see what he's up to as well. So, well, you want to give a shout out to anybody in the Discord, any of your Crucible team or anybody out there?
HD Tech and all them.
Okay.
The weight of the world was on your shoulders, and still you triumphed. Marvelous.
Well, I thank everybody for tuning in today for our Christmas week episode, and I'll see you guys in the Discord. Later, Guardian. All right, this segment is called the Speed Run. I've handpicked 25 questions from a pool of over 1,000 that have been submitted by our community all these years. These are simple, quick, simple questions to get to know our guest at an even deeper. I'm going to do it again.
All right, let's drink some moonshine and play Crucible.
Hell yeah, man. Bring it on.